Hey, hello again. Mike O'Brien, your getaway guy, today out in the middle of nowhere. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Today, I am in a little place called Deansboro, New York, for this hidden gem. No one knows it's here, but you will now. The power of the page lives here at the Berry Hill Bookshop. Come on. Boy, this place is unbelievable. 125,000 used antique books. Getting there is half the fun. You kind of walk up to this old barn and, you will see things that make it kind of freaky, and you will think you're in a bad movie, but you're not, and nothing's going to happen to you. But yes, there's even the standard cat in the window, and certainly a creaky door to get into the vestibule. You can see boxes of more books coming. But once you walk inside, you're just going to see so many books, you're not going to believe it. And it's all in a barn. This is an old dairy barn with creaky stairs, books, and memorabilia everywhere, and everything is for sale. And by the way, it's all organized by subject, so they do have it categorized, as you will see once you go in. But I mean, it's one staircase after another. This is not handicap accessible, but you will be able to get through there once you get up the stairs, if you're able to do so. And you'll even have to duck under a few barn beams to get from one room to the next. Hey, you're in a barn, right? And it's kind of, I don't know what to say. It's everything's for sale. And up on the third floor, all the books are half price. And my feeling is, if you can make it to the third floor, that they ought to be half price. There, you need some reward for making it all the way up there. But it's kind of creepy, kind of neat. Who doesn't love a great bookstore? And boy, this is one of the biggest, unbelievable bookstores I have ever seen. Berry Hill Bookshop, Deansboro, New York. They're open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 5 p.m. They're always closed through the month of January. So this past January they were closed, but they're open now. And I was back inside, and you just could spend the whole day. Now, what I'm hearing is that people come from literally everywhere. In fact, they were telling me that sometimes they'll see cars lined up in the summertime when they have a big sale from every state. People come from everywhere. They make a pilgrimage to the Berry Hill Bookshop. It's a great getaway if you've got a few hours out of Rochester. In a moment, I'm going to tell you exactly how I got there, the fastest way, and things like that. But it's just so interesting, so different, and people love bookstores, and they spend a whole day there. And it's crazy. It really is. But it's quiet, as a bookstore usually is, almost library quiet. There's also movie memorabilia. It's just everything you could imagine, and then some, from floor to ceiling on every floor. It's kind of crazy, but it's a one-of-a-kind getaway, and I thought you might like it. Berry Hill Bookshop. You can find them on Facebook, or just Google Berry Hill Bookshop, Berry Hill Bookshop, and you'll get all sorts of listings for this incredible getaway in Deansboro. Where's Deansboro? Here's my joke. The town of Deansboro is so small. Joe, are you ready for the TIMF? The town is see if he's going to do this. The town is so small. The sign, as you're driving in, the sign on the side of the road that says "Welcome to Deansboro," it says the exact same thing on the opposite side of the sign. I love that joke. Why are people tuning out now? Anyway, it's south of Clinton near Hamilton College. In just a second, I'm going to tell you the fastest way to get there. I'm going to tell you how I got there, some recommendations for food, and recommendations for a bathroom. There isn't one in the barn. Sorry, I tried. So I'm going to give you all that very pertinent information. Plus, I'm going to talk about, not necessarily part of the Berry Hill Bookshop, but I'm going to tell you about my craziest job in radio, because one of our viewers asked about it, and I'm going to give you the good and the bad here for this craziest job in radio back in the 70s. Yikes. So hold on, we're going back in time. And that's all coming up in just a second. I do want to say hi to our friends at Flex Training Center. It's a neighborhood fitness club and a fitness center that I go to. It's one of those places you don't have to look pretty to go inside. Nobody cares what you look like. It's just filled with the things you need. Treadmills, all kinds of cardio and strength equipment, light weights, the bigger stuff if you want it. I've been going to this gym for a long time, Flex Training Center. They're right across from East High School on Atlantic Avenue. Tom is always there cleaning the place. He runs a tight ship. It's really nice and it's easy. And the best part is $9.99 a month. Come on. It's so easy to do. And I think if you're looking for one of those gyms that just isn't fancy and people are all dolled up, it's not here. And that makes it more comfortable. Come as you are, but go and do your thing. And it's easy. $9.99 a month. What? It's Flex Training Center, 675 Atlantic Avenue, right across from East High School. They even have a website that you can go to, flextrainingcenter.com, or give them a call, give them a talk, or go on in. They'll give you a little tour of the place too. But Flex Training Center, I highly recommend it if you're looking for a nice, easy place to go work out a little bit. And why not? As Tom told me the other day, what are you going to do in January and February and March? Not much more going on. Might just go work out at a nice, comfortable place. I highly recommend it. Now, back to our show, to the Berry Hill Bookshop. I got there on the New York State Thruway, and it's the easiest way to get there. About a 2-hour ride out of Rochester. Exit 32 off the Thruway toward Westmoreland. Route 12B takes you into the village of Deansboro. And then a few more minutes after you go through the village, you'll find the Berry Hill Bookshop on your right. There's the village itself. And it is in town where there is a diner you can go to for refreshments or use that wonderful little bathroom, because there's nothing else. A lot of woods around there, but I suggest maybe going inside. So that's where you would go if you needed to go. But Berry Hill Bookshop is something that is easy to find pretty much. It's a nice day trip, too. It's not that far away. If you wanted to stop for food before that, I always like a Liverpool exit before you get to exit 32. Liverpool, you can find Hyde's hot dogs, a tradition in Syracuse. That's a good stop at the Liverpool exit. And there's a few other places too. One of our shows not too long ago, past Syracuse, East Syracuse, there was that Mother's Cupboard restaurant for breakfast, which is also a good place for some grub, good food. But that's kind of how I got there. And again, only 2 hours out of Rochester. Find a good day with good roads. And if you want a little adventure, Berry Hill Bookshop is definitely an adventure and quite the getaway. So check it out. Let me know if you like it. And bring home some books. And there's just so many to choose from. You're not going to believe it. When I was there filming, from what you saw, they were literally bringing in truckloads of more. Like, you need more books? Where are you going to put them? But they were a lot more books. So they're always getting new supplies of used and antique books. It's crazy. And they're in really good condition. And they're all priced. And it's a good place to go if you're looking for a little bit of an adventure in Deansboro, New York. Who would have ever thought? Another good place to go if you're looking for breakfast closer to home in Rochester, one of my favorite places is Jim's on Main. Yep, I go there for breakfast, and I'm sure I'll run into you. 785 East Main Street, breakfast or lunch. Good place to go. Elena and family run the operation. They do a nice job. Cash only. They do have an ATM machine there, and just in case, you can park right at Blackfriars Theater lot right next door or on the street, on Main Street. But it's a good place to go. Jim's, they're always a part of our show, and we thank them very, very much. And they have that coffee cake that I stare at every time I go in there, and I go, don't look. No, don't look. I try to avoid that as best I can. Hey, don't avoid my travel book. Come on. Here comes travel season. Day trips, road trips, 50 of my favorites from television in both books. There's 100 getaways here. When you grab this one, volume 2, I give you volume 1 for free. It's a BOGO kind of a deal. Let me know what you need. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Just email me. We'll talk back and forth, and we'll sign them. Whatever you want to do, just let me know, and I'll walk you through getting your books for this coming travel season. Just email me. You can do it right now. MikeTheGetawayGuy@gmail.com. Well, we do a question. Every time we do this show, somebody writes in a question. And this is what I was referring to about my craziest job in radio. Nancy from Brighton writes in and says, Dear Getaway Guy, back in your early days on the radio, which one of your broadcasting duties was the most memorable? You ready for this one, Nancy? 1974, WBBF radio. It was AM, 950 AM. And my craziest job was to fly in the sky every morning, known as the Red Baron. I did traffic reports from way up in the sky, flying over the old can of worms, all the expressways, pointing out accidents. We were live on the radio throughout the entire morning show on both the AM and the FM, and at the time I think it was WMJQ. But anyway, if you heard of the Red Baron doing traffic reports years ago back in the 70s, that was me. And some people didn't believe that I was really up in the sky, up in the air. They said, well, yeah, it's all make-believe. No, I'm really up there. And it was crazy in the sense that it was really, for me, kind of dangerous. But when you're young and naive, you have no sense of danger. My door would fly open of the plane at just any given time, just from being up so high or the rattling. I had a seatbelt on, of course. But, you know, when you're looking down on the can of worms at that height, it takes your breath away a little bit. And sometimes it would happen while I was live on the air, too. So, boy, talk about crazy stuff we used to do. Now, traffic reports are all done safely on the ground because all the information comes to us. But at that time in the 70s, we were gathering all information from what we were seeing from high in the sky. And it was nuts. The Red Baron, that was me. And I did that for 3 long years. Winters were tough. Untying the plane at the airport. Key Aviation was the place we used to go to every morning. I used to go to. And the picture you just saw, I think his name was Kevin House. And he was my pilot. But here's the crazy thing. We went through pilots like every month, a new pilot. They too were like, are you kidding me? So I lasted, they didn't. The Red Baron, can you believe it? Nino's, you looking for a good pizza when you're safely on the ground? Go to Culver Road near Merchants. This is where I go. Amazing Sicilian pizza. I was just there a couple of weeks ago, and I got to tell you. And I always call them after I have the pizza. I go, you know, this one may have been the best pizza you've ever made. And they go, we know, Mike. You said that last time. Well, that's how good it is. Fresh ingredients. Nobody does it like this. Old school pizza at Nino's Pizzeria, 1330 Culver Road near Merchants. Be careful. Traffic moves through there fast. But if you safely find a parking place, you're going to love it. Now they do delivering. Uber Eats, Grubhub, Slice. They take care of all of that for you. So they do now have delivery. Nino's Pizzeria, mamma mia. It's so good. It's not good to talk about it because then I'm going to want it again. And we just don't want to keep doing that. But it's just wonderful stuff. And I always run into some great people that come in getting their pizza. They always open it up for you, too, for your approval. Who does that today? No one. Nino's does. You're going to love it. And we hope you loved today's show. We go everywhere. I go everywhere. And it's just so much fun to bring you getaways. Thanks for being a part of our show. Thank you to Jim's on Main. Thank you very much to Flex Training Center, Atlantic Avenue. Nino's, of course, Pizzeria, Culver Road. Joe here at Classy Wolf Media. And thank you for coming along for the ride. Find us on Facebook. Just search The Getaway Guy. You also see us on YouTube. We're everywhere. And wait till you see the place I go next time. Just tune in and you'll see. Until then, I'm Mike O'Brien, your Getaway Guy.